Hi, welcome. Amanda here with Crafting with Amanda, and I am a close to my heart maker. If you would like to help and support, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification. Also, if you see posts on Facebook of people that you like, go ahead and like those. These are the two, or the double page layout that we're doing today. I was part of a swap years ago, probably a decade or more ago, and I am trying to use up my photos that are printed and some that will be printed in the future with these layouts that I have that are already pre-done. And like I said, this was one from a swap that I participated in. We took the old Imagine book with the double page layouts by Jennett, Lynton, and everybody did one layout, and then you made 25 copies of it. You kept one, and then you got the first 25 layouts in the book. And then I did two groups, and then you took a second layout and did 25 of that one, and again, so you ended up with all 50 different layout samples. It was kind of cool. It was actually a lot of fun. I don't have the name of the person that did this one. It wasn't written on the layout anywhere. I apologize for that. But I found these photos from when our daughter was in second grade, and a lady there, Mrs. Otten, she organized all the second graders every year she did this to go snowshoeing at the school farm. We lived in the Upper Peninsula, Michigan at that time, and she, Mrs. Otten, she just thought it was important for these kids to have these skills because of where we lived and that there was, many months of winter. And so she would teach them how to put on the snowshoes and kind of how to look for different things in the woods. And the school farm was a well-groomed trail, so it was a great place to start learning. I was pregnant at the time with our youngest, so I wasn't able to participate in the actual snowshoeing, but I did go out and take some photos. And here, because I had the extra prints, I am using a flip flap, and I kind of start the adhesive and then I put it down and make sure that it's where I want it before I pull the strip off to glue it down the rest of the way. And I don't know if you saw, because I was talking, when the layout was done, the orientation of the two photo mats that I'm using were for portrait photos, and obviously I have landscape photos, so I went ahead and pulled those off. And at this angle, I don't think you can see that there's some residual tape from the Pop Dot mat. There wasn't any from the other mat. The other mat just had tape runner, but this one had Pop Dots. So I will have strategically find uses or need to strategically cover the few spots of glue that are still showing. So there you can see just a little bit of the adhesive runner on the back of that, and I'm tucking it under the top one. And there's a snowflake in the corner of the left layout, and now there's one in the bottom of the right layout. And I do have a snowflake still that I had taken off that top corner, and I took it off up there because I knew when the flip flap would open, it would make the snowflake bend, or I'd have to cover more of the snowflake. So I adhered that bottom photo now, and this is like at the end of the snowshoeing. The kids were well wore out. They took naps, I'm sure. At least mine did when she got home. So here I'm just trimming down so that the photo placement mat actually acts as a frame for this photo. And I'm realizing as I'm putting these down, I remember it's about this time that I'm like, oh, there's a lot of white on this page. I need to cover some of that up. I'm trying to get off one of the glue spots here from where the Pop Dot tape was. And I'm looking and going, there's a lot of white. I got to figure out something to do. So I pulled out the wooden hearts, and these are current wooden hearts. These aren't from my stash. They're actually available today. I think they're about the only thing that I use that's available today. And I can't even remember the name of this paper pack. So I pulled out the white glitter paper, and I'm going to use some punches that I have, and they work really well. The person that made this originally had cut the title using a white glitter paper, and so these kind of tie in with that. And you can see that with the punch, I'm pushing it down. Sometimes with punches, especially if you're going through thicker paper like glitter paper, you actually have to keep the front edge inline or square, because when you squeeze the handle, it actually opens up the mouth almost like an alligator. So by putting it on the table and putting downward pressure, it keeps it in line so that the cutting blades can pass by each other. So now I just have these 2 different snowflakes, and I punched out multiples of them, and I'm thinking about putting the journaling in the bottom corner here, and I realized, oh, you need a couple more snowflakes, so I'm snagging those out. And I think at one point I ended up, oh, this is an extra one, and I put it in my stash. Well, then I realized one of the snowflakes that I had put on the layout, one of the tips had pulled off, and I didn't want that. So I got rid of that snowflake and pulled out the extra one that didn't actually turn out to be extra after all. So here I'm just auditioning and kind of dry fitting things. Like I said, there's a snowflake. It's kind of overexposed because of my light in the upper left corner, but there's a snowflake there, and now one towards the center of the layout and then one at the bottom. So it just brings your eye down across the page. Now you can see that snowflake that was up in the corner. And then these 4 photos that I have of putting the 2 layers of hats on, I'm just gonna fit them into this one 4x6 frame area. So I'm looking at them as far as I don't want to cut off too much jacket. I don't want to cut off, a head. And one of the photos, because they were off to one side, I only did at 1 3/4 inches wide, and then the other 2 photos that are on the right side are 2 inches wide. So they are different. They're not like all the same widths, but I think once you put them on here and they're in that pattern with the tree as the background, to me it really works well. So I think this is the snowflakes that I realized had fallen apart, so I'm grabbing one from the stash where I had thrown it. So that was a happy accident. So again, I'm just going to glue down these snowflakes, and then I decided earlier that I want to put the journaling just right on that one band of, I think it's glacier color right above the red. I'll do my journaling down there. I don't remember a lot of the story other than they went snowshoeing, and Mrs. Otten, took a lot of joy in teaching the kids how to do that. And like I said, I'm really pleased with how these smaller portrait, almost wallet sizes, fit together into that one frame. It uses all the photos, it tells the story all in one little vignette. I think if I was a Picture My Life or a daily scrapbooker or a journaler, I don't even know the terminology, that would be a cool layout for that you could have one 6x4 area with all of those photos. So I pulled out these wooden hearts, and I had to, because yes, it's snow, but I really love that Mrs. Otten does this and that the kids just get to have so much fun. And I use the green lidded Tombow glue to glue this down because it dries with a little bit of tack in it. It doesn't dry hard. So that just, for me, it seems to keep things on layouts longer. I know that they'll be in page protectors eventually, but it keeps them there longer. So I didn't draw lines when I'm doing my journaling, and all that I'm saying here is that, Mrs. Otten gathers all the 2nd graders and teaches them how to snowshoe, and they practice actually during recess leading up to going out to the school farm. So it's not, their first time isn't just going out to the school farm and here we gotta, put all the kids' snowshoes on. It all happens gradually. So that's just what the journaling is saying, and then I do put the date on it as well. And we're going to be done with this layout. I really appreciate you swinging by. I am excited again to pull out my pre-done layouts or the workshop layouts that just don't have photos on them, and I need to start printing more of my photos from 2013 on. And you get a close-up here of the layout. The snowflakes, like I said, they kind of bring your eye across the page. I love whoever did this with the ripped edges, and it was just a fun layout. And there, of course, is the flip flap. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, here's your opportunity, and here's another video you may be interested in. I hope you have a blessed day. Thanks for stopping by.